What's going on, guys? I'm back with an exciting tutorial, and this time we're going to combine different technologies to see how we can create a cool tool. It is called YouTube summaries. So something like how Meta has, we're going to do the same to YouTube. We're going to be combining ChatGPT AI services, and we're also going to be using the YouTube data API, and we're going to inject comments right here. And let me show you guys how it works. So in my top bar right here, we're going to create a Chrome extension that when I hit it, analyze, it's going to analyze the comments, and boom, it's going to tell you what the sentiment is, in the comment section. So, it works like this. I can go to another, let's say, video, and then if I come over here, there's no comments. So let's see how it will work here. So if I do analyze, boom, no comments. So that's pretty cool. That means that my videos suck. So let's grab another video. Let's grab this video and let's see how we can. I'm going to come over here. There's a lot of comments, and what we can do is I'm going to come over here and I can do analyze, and boom. So the sentiment is this, and you can see kind of showing like how these the people are feeling about it. So if you guys are excited, pumped, let's get right into it. Okay, so now let's get coding. What we have here is just a blank kind of VS Code project. I have two folders, a backend and a front end, you can call it. This is the Chrome extension. So we're going to get to the backend. Let's start with the Chrome extension. So to get started with the Chrome extension, what we do, the first thing is create a manifest file. So it's going to be manifest.json like this. So this is where you specify the all the specification for the extension, like the name and all. So let's get started. What we're going to do, we're going to do a name like that, and it's going to be YouTube comment summaries like that. Okay, then the next thing will be the description. So we're going to do a description, and I'm going to copy and paste this one because I don't want to type this. So it's going to be like this: analyze YouTube comments and blah blah blah. So this is something that will be visible when you look at the Chrome, the extension, when we load it. I'll show you guys. Okay, and we'll just say provide summaries like that. Okay, so what do we have next? The next thing is the version, and the version we're going to start with 0.1. I should do this one. Okay, and then after that we have the manifest version. Okay, so we're going to do manifest version, and this one will be 3. Okay, I think I need to do this, and then after this we need the content script. So we're going to do content scripts. Okay, so this is where we're gonna have our script. So this will be an array, and I'm gonna come here and do this. And the first thing you want to do is we want it to have match a URL. So I'm gonna do matches, not that. Okay, and what do you want to match? You can match a whole bunch of URLs, but the one I'm interested in is when the viewer is actually watching a YouTube video. So we're gonna do youtube.com. Okay, it's going to be watch. So if you watch a YouTube video, this is what it looks like. So you have watch, and then there's a V, and then the YouTube video ID. Okay, so once we have that, then after that we need to give it the CSS file that's used for styling. And for this one, I'm going to do styles.css. We're going to create these files, and then finally the JavaScript. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to do content-script.js. Cool. So this is the content scripts. Then after this, we're going to do action. Okay, and this will be an object. All right, and then we're going to do a default title. All right, for this one, I'm just going to do YouTube comment summaries. So this is when somebody hovers their mouse, mouse over it. And then the other one we need is default underscore pop-up. So what is default underscore pop-up? So when you click on the icon for the extension, we have a pop-up.html. So this is like a window that will be displayed. Okay, and then finally we're gonna do permissions. Okay, you want to give it a permissions. YouTube is very strict about this, and I'm going to do active tab. The active tab, that's the user has loaded, because you want to get the URL from the browser. Anyway, so once you have that, at this point actually you can load this in your browser, this extension. So let's see how we can do that. So I'm going to minimize this. Over here I have Chrome extensions. You can just go Chrome extensions, and then I'm going to do load unpack. That's what you want to click. So I'm going to do load unpack, and I'm going to find this this folder. Okay, so here is the YouTube comment summaries, and here's the Chrome extension, and we're just going to hit select, and boom, the thing is right here. So as you can see, this is the description, and then this is the title, and it's loaded here. So if you click on errors, it's going to show errors. Okay, so it's saying unrecognized. Okay, so this should have been scripts. I think I was typing too fast. Boom. So what you do, you save it, then I'm going to reload. We'll do retry. Okay, nothing to see here. Okay, so that means I can go back, and I'm going to do reload, retry, content dash script.j. Oh, okay, so that means we need to create the file. So I'm going to come over here, and I will do content dash script. It's trying to find the file actually. So I'm going to do this, and we'll save, and we're going to do retry. Okay, so now we need the style.css. So as you can see, it's just kind of telling us, and I'm going to do styles.css, and while I'm here, I will also do popup.html. Okay, let's come here and do a retry. Okay, it looks like the file is outside of the extension, so we need to move it in here. And if I do retry, yes, no more errors. So there your that's your thing. So now how do we see it? If I click on extensions, boom, this is your extension right here, and this is the kind of tooltip that's coming, YouTube comment summaries. Interesting. Okay, so now that we have this, what we can do is maybe start with the HTML and add a, see, currently the pop-up is very minimal. Let me see if I can pin this one. You can pin it. And then what I can do is maybe add a button that we can hit, and it will do something. Cool. So we're done with the manifest. We're going to close it. We're going to come to pop-up, and we're going to do, let's see if we can just do this. Not this. I can do HTML5. Boom. Instant. Okay, so I'm going to close this one. So in here, you can just give it a title. It will be YouTube comment summaries. Like that. And then what you want to do in here is you want to load a script and the style. So what I'll do is I'll do link href styles.css like that, and then we will just do rel is equal to style sheet. Okay, pretty basic HTML. So we're kind of referencing the style sheet, and then the other thing we need is the script, and the script is the source we're going to do, and it's going to be main.js. Okay, and we're going to create this one. So let me save this one. Then you're going to come back here inside the Chrome extension. We're going to create a new file, and I'm going to call it main.js like that. Okay, so let's close this one. Let's close this one. Then under the body, what we can do, we can create a button. Okay, and then it's going to be analyze. Like that's when we hit the button, this is going to analyze the thing for us. And then also what I will do is create a log, so we can actually see what actually is going on, because this script runs in the context of this window. So we're done with this one. Let me close it, save it. And every time you make change, you want to come over here and do a refresh. And if I come here, boom, we have a button right here. Okay, that's pretty cool. So how about this? When I click the button in the main.js file, let's log something over in our log so we can see what's going on. So let's close this and go over to main.js, and let's get cracking. So what we can do is we're going to start over with window dot, and you want to do add event listener. Okay, and what kind of event? DOM content loaded. Okay, so when the content has loaded, we're going to call a function. We're not calling a function. We're going to create an anonymous function, and let's just get a hold of the button. So we're going to do button analyze, okay, is equal to, we're going to do document dot, and we're going to do get element by ID, and it's going to be analyze like that. So we're gonna get the button, and then how about I do this append to log, and it will be basically DOM. Let me do this. Let me copy this and put this here. And for this one, I'm going to create a function. It will be append to log like that, and it's going to be log line. And all we do is we do document dot, and it's going to be get element by ID. So this is our log. It's going to be log. Okay, and then we're going to do append child. All right, and it's going to be document dot create. So every time there's a log, you just create a new div element. We're going to do create element, and then the element will be div, right, like that. And then what you do is you do dot inner text. Okay, that will be equal to, and let's say you can put I don't know, let's say date, timestamp, whatever you want, but for now we will just do log line like that. So I'm going to save it, and let's do a refresh, and let's see if this will work. So when we come here, boom, there you go. So that's coming DOM content loaded. So when I click this button, I would like to add another line. So what you can do, we can do button analyze dot add event listener, click, whoop. Okay. Okay, and then let's see if we can use AI to see. How about do this? I'm going to copy this. I'm going to show you guys if we can use AI to do this for us. So let's go over to Copilot, and I'll do this. When I hit the button analyze, add a line to actually do this. When I hit the analyze button, call the append to log function. Let's see if it's smart enough to do that for us. So let's see. Okay, what is it doing? So it's gonna give us this line. Okay, that's what we wanted. And if I paste it, I'm going to save it. We're not going to do anything. And thank you for your cooperation. Let's close this and let's do a refresh. I didn't check the code, nothing, but let's see if this will work. Okay, this doesn't work. Why? Let's save it and let's do a refresh. And okay, it's still giving me error. Cannot read properties of null reading add event listener. Because we have get element by ID, and I think if I'm not mistaken, yes. Yeah, that's humans are getting stupid actually. And one thing I will do is I'm going to make this const. Don't need it to be var. Okay, so let's come here, do a refresh, and it's still doing that. I don't know why, but as you can see, this is working. So we just need to clear the errors. If we come back, do a refresh, no more errors, and boom, this is all working. That's looking pretty cool. Let's now get the active tab ID, and then let's see how we can maybe spit that to the console or our log. So what I'm going to do is, we know this works, so we can just comment this out, and I can do something like this: tab, okay, is equal to await. So for this one, we need the async and await. So that means I can come over here and I can do async, and then I can basically create the arrow function. Okay, so what I will do is I'm going to do chrome dot tabs dot query, okay, like that, active tab true. So we're going to get the active tab, and let me just do this. If I do this, boom, and I will do last focus, okay, window true. Okay, so once we have that, then what we can do is, how about we do append to log, and we can do active tab. Okay, let's do this plus, and how about I do tab.id. Let me save it. Let's do a refresh, and if I come here, boom, so that's the active tab ID. If I open another tab and I do this, that's a different ID. This is 949, and this one is 885. So every tab has an ID, and that's what we're getting. Cool. So now that we have that, then we can actually now send a message over to another script, because this is the script that's running here, but we need a script that's kind of running in the background, and that can do the cool stuff for us. So let's come here and we can do const response is equal to await chrome dot, we're going to tabs dot send message like that, and you want to give it the tab dot ID, okay, and let's just do greeting. Okay, we're just going to do hello. So we're going to send this message and we're going to see if the background script is actually going to receive it, and if that works. Okay, so also append to log. Let's just take the response from the background script and we're gonna spit it out here, see if it received it. Cool. So to do that, what we can do is come over here, and if you guys remember in the manifest, we had this content script. So now this is what we're going to use. So let's go over to content script and let's close this for now, and let's close this. And we can do something like this: chrome dot runtime, okay, dot on message dot add listener, okay. And what we can do is create an async function. Actually, I can just do like this: async request, what, request, and then the other one will be sender. Man, why is it completing for me? That's annoying. And then we need the send response. Okay, so we have that. So let's come over here and do this. So what we can do is, for now, let's just go to console.log, and we can do request.message. So we're going to spit out whatever is being sent to us, and then we're going to send a response back saying message all good. Cool. Okay, so the idea is this: we're going to hit this button. That's going to send a request to a message to the background script. The background script is going to print it, and that's going to send us a response back saying all good. So let's come here and do a refresh. And how about we go inspect, go console, and see. Exciting. If I hit it, okay, we got error. That's amazing. So let's go and see what's going on. Okay, so why is it complaining? Because could not, receiving end does not exist. Okay, that's weird. Content script does exist. Sometimes it has this issue. Let me clear all. Let me go back to a refresh. And I don't know if because it has to work on YouTube, that's why. Because if you come here, and if I come over here, so okay, so we'll probably have to go to YouTube. So I'm gonna find a YouTube video and let's see if we can do this. Okay, so I found this video on my channel basically, and what we can do now is see if this thing will work. So if I come over here and do analyze, boom, I got a response. And if I go to inspect, go to console, and there's a lot of errors from YouTube. And where can we find our script? I'm going to clear this and I'm going to try this again. Boom. Okay, so I'm getting a response, but for some reason the content script is not let me see, a request message. Is that what we send? Let's just minimize this. Send message tab.id and greeting. I think that's what it is, greeting. It would just do message. So I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna do a refresh on that. And let's come over here and do analyze. I think I need to reload it. Okay, so I'm gonna close this one and let's come over here to analyze. Okay, let me see why. Let me go up. Okay, and 14 messages. Oh, there you go. So user message. So there you go. So hello, that's what I'm sending. Let me see. Yeah, hello, that's what I'm sending. And actually it's printing it. So that means we're hitting the background script, and we can now get to the meaty stuff of this. So what we can do is we can come over here and we can create a function, and I'm going to call it analyze comments, okay, like that. And then over here, what I can do is I can say analyze comments. That means we need to make this async because we're doing await. Okay, so this is going to analyze the comments. And then in this one, what we can do is now we need to do some analysis. Maybe the first thing we should do is grab the video ID, this one right here. So if you guys watch, then here is the video ID, which is a V. but then at the end they slap this t is equal to 266, which is I think the timestamp on where the video was paused, I think. So what we need to do is we need to grab just this part of the video. So how can we do that? Well, pretty straightforward, I think. You can come over here and we're going to create another function. Okay, and it's going to be get video, okay, ID from URL. Okay, and then to this one we're going to pass the currently loaded URL, and we're going to do like this: URL params is equal to new URL search params. Okay, new URL. So create a new URL params object from this passed in URL. Okay, and then what we can do is we're going to do a search. Okay, and then we're going to do return. All right, return, and it's going to be URL params. Okay, dot get v, because as I said, every YouTube video that you watch, they have this v, I think v for video. So we're going to basically grab this part of it. So this is going to be the first param. If you want to get the time, you're going to do t, which will be the other param. Anyway, so once we have that, then we can come over here, and so we're going to get the current URL, and it's going to be current URL is equal to window.location. What? Not that. Location.href. Okay, so this will give us the current URL, and then we can do video ID is equal to get video from URL, and it's going to be the current URL. So this is going to give us the video ID, and from this one, let me just return, not even that, let me just console log the video ID. So we will see if we can get the video ID, and actually for now I don't need this await because we're not doing any processing. We just want to make sure we're grabbing the video ID and we're logging it to the console. So back over here, we're going to reload our Chrome extension, and then we're going to do a refresh here, let it load, and then if I come here, I do this, so I got the response, and as you can see, I'm getting the video ID, so it's HO something something all the way up to A. Cool, so we got the video ID. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to find a place where we can insert the comment. So what I'm thinking is, as you guys see in the demo, we're going to insert it right here in this spot, just like how Facebook does it or Meta does it. We're going to do the same thing. So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to come here and get this tool, and I'm going to click on this, and as you can see, they have a couple of YouTube has a couple of HTML tags, but the one that I want is this one. So this is the header. This is where the comments actually start. And what I want to do is I'm going to insert it at the very end. So we have all these guys. So we're going to insert right before this, which would be kind of the end. So this is our job. So what I can do is I'm going to copy this one because we want to grab this one, get a hold of this. And we're going to come over here and we're going to do const comments header is equal to, and you want to do basically document dot query selector, and I'm going to pass in this one. Let me just do a whoop. Why did that happen? That's not what I wanted. Control Shift Z. I want to do this. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is get a hold of this this selector, and then what we can do is if comments header, if we got it, then we're gonna do all this cool stuff. Okay, else basically if we can't find it, then well we need to do something. Okay, so what we should do is we should come over here, we should do new div is equal to null. How about when we click this button, we want to insert a div here, and that div will be the video ID. So the way we're going to do this is, so let's say we got the comments header, and then we got the video ID. So then you want to do is new div is equal to document.create element. Okay, we're going to create a div. All right, and then we do new div. Okay, dot class list dot add. Okay, so insert a div. So what we're trying to do is setting up a class on this, so we kind of like give it some styling basically. Okay, and then we're going to insert it. So we're going to do comments header dot insert a JSON element. Okay, You want to do that, and you want to insert it after end. All right, and what is it? You want to insert the new div, like so. Okay, so this is how we're going to insert our div. If we can find the let's say comments header, then we just do, I don't know, console.log failed to find comments section. Okay, so we're going to, how about error? Okay, so this will be that, and you know what, so let me also add some text on this. So what I can do here is, let me grab this one actually, and I can bring this here, and then what I will do is, if video ID, if we found the video ID, okay, then what you want to do is new div dot, okay, inner HTML is equal to, so we're going to do the text, and we're going to do video ID. Okay, let's just do P like that. So if we get the video ID, then we're going to insert this, otherwise else new div dot inner. I mean, it's very unlikely this will happen, but we're just going to be safe, and we're going to do this. So we're going to do P, we're going to do failed to load find video. Okay, I don't need the text for this. I don't know why I did that, but I'll remove it. Okay, so I'm going to save this one, and now we're going to test this out. So we have these styles that we need to apply, and I'm not typing them. There's just plain CSS. But if I come over here to style.css, I'm going to paste them, and what they are is basically on the inserted div, we have a bunch of these classes. That's all we have. So you can go through them, very basic, some animation, anyways. So I'm going to close this one, and now what we can do is, let's insert this and see if this will work. So let's come over here and do a refresh, then back here do a refresh here, and now if I hit this, all right, so as you can see, this is working. Let's load another video. How about this one, and if I hit it, analyze, boom, now we're getting this video ID. So this is all working. That's pretty cool. Now we need to do the backend, send this to the backend so we can get the YouTube comments from the YouTube data API, send it to ChatGPT for processing, and then get the response back here. Exciting stuff. Okay, so what we can do is, now I can close this one. We're going to focus on the backend, and let's go to backend, and I have basically nothing here. So what I can do is I can create an app.js file like so, and then I need to install a couple of dependencies. So let's come over here, and I can do npm install. So we need to install .env so we can read the environment files, and then the other one we need to install is express. Okay, and then we also need to install Google APIs. I don't know if they already have it in the package.json. Now we don't have anything. Okay, so we're going to install it. We need to install Google APIs. We need to install Nodemon, and then we need to install the OpenAI. So let's see if we can install all these. All right, it's pretty cool. So all the all the dependencies have been installed, and I can close this one. I don't need this one. Then what I also need is an environment file. So I'm going to come over here, and we're going to create a .env file, so we can put the YouTube data API key and the OpenAI API key. So I'll copy these, and then I'm going to paste them here. So how do you get these? Well, the OpenAI API is very easy. Just have to go to the OpenAI API and get the key. For YouTube, you can just go here and do YouTube data API, something like that. Actually, you need to go to Google Search Console. We're going to go to Google Console, not Search Console, just Console. And I'm going to Cloud Console, go here. You need to log in and stuff. Okay, once you are here, then what you can do is just go search for YouTube data, let's see, data API. And once you have that, you're going to enable it. There's going to be a button enable, so I already have it enabled. And you're going to enable it, and then under credentials, you're just going to generate a new API key. Once you have that, you're going to copy it and basically paste it here. So I'm going to save it and I'm going to close this. So now that we have that, so now what we can do is instead of typing everything, we can just use this for ChatG, or I mean Copilot for it. So what I can do is I can say write me an Express server that has a get path list, get path for analyze and then video ID. Okay, I think that should be it. So let's see. So I use AI for these stuff that will take you time to do, right? So these are pretty basic things to do. So I can just copy this one and thank you. And let's paste it here. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to add cores because the middleware is if you don't do that, the request won't be accepted from your, what do you call it? Your Chrome extension. So we're going to come over here and I'm going to do res.headers. Okay, res.header. This will be access, okay, dash control and allow origin. So what we're saying here is basically allow requests from anyone. If you know that you will have a specific website or URLs coming from, then you can specify that here. And then the other thing we need is also a, let me copy this one. Okay, I'm going to copy this one and you want to tell it what methods are allowed. So I'm going to do allow, okay, allow methods. So in my case, I know that I only want the get method. So I'm going to do get. I'm not doing post, put, or patch, delete, none of that. Okay, so that should be enough for it for us. And just don't forget to call next because it's the middleware. So you're going to pass it on to the next thing in line. Okay, so this should be a very basic server. So one thing we can do is what I always do actually. I create this one and I just basically test this out to make sure the API or the path is working. So I'm going to do res.json and we'll do OK. So let me come over here and we can do nodemon app.js. So this will start it. Okay, it looks like we have error. So app.arguments. Why is it app.arguments? I don't know. I think the autocomplete kind of bit me. So I use node1 because it just will save and reload it, the server for you. So if I come over here now, I'm going to copy this one. And by default, it's a get request. So we're getting OK. So that means the server is working. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so now let's come over here and we can start. Let me just minimize this and I'm going to do cores. I'm going to call this cores. And let's do this. So what we need to do is we're going to come here and we're going to get the Google APIs. So we're going to do const Google and it's going to be require and we're going to do Google APIs. Okay, so that will be the Google APIs. And then we also need to require, okay, the .env, okay, and you want to do config. So we can get a hold of the environment variables. So how about this? We're going to send a request to the backend from our plugin. We're going to have it send a response back to us. So actually that's already here. So res.json analyzing video with ID. So I'm going to save this and let's come over here to our, I'm going to close this one and we're going to go over to where we have the Chrome extension and where we have the content script. So let's see from here if we can make a request. So what we can do is at the top, I can come here and I can do const API URL is equal to, let's just grab this one and we can slap that here. So this is our API endpoint and then it's analyze like that. Okay, and then let me minimize this one and we're going to create a function. So it's going to be function and then we're going to do send request. Okay, and this one will get the video ID like so. And then in here what we can do is we can do build the URL first. So URL will be, and it's going to be the API, let me do this, API URL, and then what you want to slap to this one is the video ID. Okay, so that's what we're passing the video ID, and then we're going to do a try catch just for good measures. And it's going to be error, and if there's any error, we're going to console.log it error and just return the error. Okay, so then in here I can do like this: const result is equal to await. So this is, we need to make it async. Okay, we're going to await, and we're going to do a fetch. Okay, fetch API that's built in the browser. We're going to do the URL, and the method is get. Okay, so we just have the okay, so we have this. So now what we can do is I can do const response is equal to await, and we're going to do result dot, let's say JSON, because we are getting JSON from our backend, and then return response like that. So let's save it, and then in here I can come here and I can basically do, let's say, processing. So let's say this will be the video ID, and then I can do await, and I can do send request, and I can pass in the video ID. So this will return us a response. So we can do const response is equal to that, and then for now let's just do console.log response. Okay, and then how about actually after that we just do return response. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this one, we don't need this. So I'm gonna save this one. So if I come over to my backend, as you can see, we're returning this analyzing. So actually, if you can see, this is just plain text. So if it's plain text, then in that case, let me close this. I don't need this one. I can just do text. Okay, and I think that should be it. So let's test it out. So let's come over here to extensions and do a reload. And let's just come back to, let's say, this video. I'm going to refresh. Okay, and I'm going to come here and do analyze. Okay, it's saying processing. And if I come here to inspect, so let's see if we hit our backend. Analyzing video with ID, that's beautiful. So we are hitting our app.js, the backend. As you can see, analyzing video with ID, perfect. So that is working. Okay, so now what we can do is we can actually get the comments from, say, YouTube. So that'll be the next step. What we can do here is we can do like this: try, and I'm going to do catch error. Let's just console log the error. Okay, and we're going to do res dot, I don't know, do they have a status of, let's say, 500, and we're going to do send or JSON. We can do message, and we're going to do fail to process, okay, just in case. So I'm going to get rid of this one and this one, save it. And then what we can do here is I can do YouTube is equal to Google dot, and we're going to do YouTube. Okay, you want to get the v3, and then const response is equal to await YouTube dot comment. So there's two things: one is comments, one is comment threads. Comments is if you want to get comments to another comment. Comment threads is if you want to get the top level comments and there are comments within them. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to call the list method. You want to pass in some parameters. So the part that I want to get is the snippet, okay, and then the video ID is the passed in video ID, and max results, I'm just going to get the five top, not five top, but 5 comments, I guess. You can get as many as you want. And order, what I'm going to do is relevance. Okay, and then auth, so this is where you specify the auth key. We're going to process.m dot, it's going to be YouTube, oops, YouTube API key. Okay, it looks like we need to do this. Yep, that's happy. Okay, so once you have that, then I think what I can do is I can do top level comments is equal to response dot, I'm going to do data dot items, because the comments that come in from YouTube, they are in this items array, so we're trying to get that. And then what we can do is, if not, let's say a video does not have any comments, which is a lot of my videos, or top level comments dot, we're going to do length is equal to 0, then we can do return status. Whoop. So how about we actually maybe print this and see if we can get any comments. So for now I can do res.send, we can do OK, and then I can come over here and I can actually grab the comments, right? So what I can do comments is equal to top level comments, okay, dot map, because it's an array, so we're just going to map over it, and then I can prepare this object. So for this one, I'll just get the text, and it will be item dot snippet, okay, dot top level comment dot, it's going to be snippet dot, it's going to be text original. So one is text display, one is text original. So we want to get the text original. And then I don't know if you want, you can also get like a lot of other things. So for example, you can also get the like count in case you want to do some kind of analysis. So I can just do item dot snippet, okay, and I get to top level comment, and I can do snippet, okay, and it's going to be like count, like that. So for now, what I will do is I can just do console.log comments. So let's see if we can hit the YouTube data API, get the comments, see if we can log them and all. Very, very nice. So let's actually, we don't need to do any refresh because this is all happening on the back end. So let's come here. I'm going to come here and I'm going to do analyze. And let's see. So as you can see, we are getting the comments for this video. So this is the comment that I did where I put the timestamps, and this is where this is from somebody else which got 2 likes. So let's see if this actually is kind of correlating with this one. So we have this issue, by the way, we are doing a multiple insert. We need to add a check that if you already have it, don't insert it again. But as you can see, so we have this comment from this user. It says, thanks, it took me 12 days to build it and learned a lot. Thank you very much for taking the time. And so that's this guy. The data part is so good. So that's this one. An incredible project. And wow, great project. So as you can see, we're actually getting the comments with the likes. So I think that is intense. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to clean this up a bit. And by cleaning it up, I mean is this. If a comment has something like timestamps or promotional stuff, I mean, we can do that with the prompt because ChatGPT is smart enough. But we need to get rid of those kind of comments because that's just noise. We don't want that. So how can we do that? So first thing we should maybe take care of see how we're inserting this multiple times. I think we should not be doing that. So let's see. Where is that happening? I think it should be here. So what I can do is first check if the div already exists, right? So I can do cons existing div is equal to, I'm gonna do Alt Z so it can go next line. And then what I want to do is I'm gonna do comments header dot next element sibling. Okay, so give me the sibling. And then what I will do is I'm gonna come over here. And then what I can do is if existing div, and if we get it, an existing div dot class list, okay, dot contains inserted div. So this is the one that we did. So I'm going to copy this one and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so that means that this div already exists. So then in that case, I'm going to do next div. New div is equal to existing div, else we're basically creating this this div. So I'm going to come here and let me see, I can just grab it and paste it here. Okay, so what we're saying here is that say I come in the first time it's going to grab this one existing div. So initially it's not going to find this one, so it's going to be null. So it's going to go ahead and create one. It's going to add the class list and it's going to insert it. So when you come over the next time, it's going to go over here and it's going to hit this one. So that means we're not going to do it multiple times. And then the other thing I also want to do is on the new div, add class list. Whoops. Class list. Man, these things are just annoying. Class list dot add, and I want to add this pulsing background. So if I come over to my style.css, I have this pulsing background. So while we are processing, we kind of want to show this to the user that something is happening, right? And then once we are done with the processing, maybe in the end, we can just come here and remove the pulsing background. So that's what that is. And then once we have the response, so for now I'm going to remove this one, and then once we get the response from the backend, then maybe I can just come here and actually just do the response here like so. And actually I don't need this, I don't need that. So once you get the response, so initially we're going to do processing, and then once you get the response, then we kind of show it here. So I'm going to save it, and let's come over here and do a refresh on this, and then let's see if this will work. So I'm going to analyze, and it's okay. So I'm going to hit it again. It should not insert this. Boom, that's pretty cool. Okay, so this is working well. Now we need to go over to our backend and see if we can pass these comments to ChatGPT for processing. Okay, so now we need to create these functions to kind of clean out these comments. So we need to remove the timestamps, any comment that has a timestamp, and also these comments have, if I just come over here and do analyze, then if I come over here to my thing, as you can see, they have all like this new line characters and all. So we should kind of like, let me see. Yeah, we should get rid of these. I want to clean this up. Okay, so for that, what I can do is I can come over here and create a util.js, and then in here I can do util is equal to, let me close this one, and then I can create a function. It will be filter, and we can do timestamps, and this function will take the comments, okay, and then it's gonna basically return comments.filter. So we're gonna filter out the comments, and it's going to be comment, okay, like that, and then const timestamps regex is equal to, we need to create a regex. So I'm not going to type this, but basically what it is we're looking for anything that's in this kind of format: hour, minute, second. And if you look at YouTube timestamps, that's how they look like. So that's what we're trying to match. And then what you do is you do return not timestamps regex.test. So anything basically that is not a timestamp, right? The comment doesn't have, you return it. And we're going to do comment.text. Okay, I'm going to save this one, and let's see if we can do module.exports equal to util, like that. So I'm going to save it. This should be util. Okay, so let's come here and see if we can do const comments without timestamp is equal to, we're going to do util dot that, we're going to pass in the comments, and then I can just take this one and I can print it. So let's see if this will work. So let's come over here, and this is what we had before, and if I come here and I do analyze, and there you go. So it basically got rid of the comment with timestamps. You can also do another one for removing any new line character, but I think we might not need it. We're just going to leave it as is. So I'm just going to close this one, close it. And now we need to create an AI service so we can call the ChatGPT and all. So I'm going to come here and we're going to create a new file. We're going to do AI service.js like that. So let's close this. And starting from the top, we're going to do const. We're going to do OpenAI. AI is equal to require. We're going to do OpenAI, so we're going to grab this. Then you have to create the OpenAI object. I think I should do this. OpenAI is equal to OpenAI, and then we're going to create this object and we're going to give it the API key. Okay, and then the API key will be process dot and dot OpenAI underscore API underscore key. Okay, so this will be that. So then const, and we're going to do send request, and then this will be async, and this will be, let's say, comments, because this is what we're processing, so we're just going to name it comments. And then what we want to do here is we need to create a role. So the role is, or a prompt. So I'm going to do const prompt is equal to, I think we need to do arrow. Okay, so the prompt is, I don't want to type it but I'm going to explain it. So the prompt is basically you're given a numbered list of YouTube comments. So if you look at what we're getting, well, actually we need to number them. So, but we're saying you're getting a numbered list of comments, and basically your job is to analyze these comments and give me an overall sentiment analysis. Ignore comments that talk about timestamps or promotions, because sometimes there are comments that talk about promotions. We don't want to ignore those. And you don't need to tell me what you ignored, because it will tell you sometimes that I ignored this comment. And you also don't need to mention specific comment in your response. So provide a response no more than 400 characters. We don't want to have like a whole paragraph here. We just want to have a small, comment here. So then don't forget to do module dot exports is equal to send request, like that. So I'm gonna do this just to be consistent, like this. Okay, so now that we have this, then what we need to do is we need to come here and do a try catch, and we're going to do throw error, okay, just in case something happens. And then finally we're just going to do completion is equal to await OpenAI. I think I should make this all small. Okay, OpenAI dot, we're going to do chat dot, we're going to do completions, we're going to do create. So we're going to create a request like so. And one thing I forgot is this should be new. So you want to create a new object. Okay, and then model, I'm going to create a model. The model I'm going to use GPT-4, okay, O-mini. So this is good enough for what we want to get out of this. And then the other thing you want to do is messages. So I'm going to do messages. Okay, this will be an array of objects. So the first one is role system, and this one content is basically prompt. Okay, and wow, man, I'm telling you, these things are so annoying. Okay, then the other one, role is user. Okay, and then the content is comments. Okay, so that's that. So this will be user. Okay, that's what we have. Let me save it. Then I can come over here after that and I can do if completion. Okay, and that choice is 0.finish reason. So you also always want to see what the finish reason was. Was it an error or was it stop, which is what we are trying to grab, is equal to stop. That means the AI is done with processing. Then const, you want to grab the message from it, is equal to completion dot choices 0 and return. You want to return message dot content. Okay, so we're going to return the message dot content, and I'm going to save it. Else you basically return something like failed to process. I'm going to come here and we're going to do, I don't know, let me just grab everything and do this, and we're just going to do fail to process. Save it. Okay, so this hopefully will do that for us. Now what we need to do is we need to number these comments. So if I come over here and you look at them, the comments are like this. We need to maybe just number them and get the text like that. So let's come over here, and then this is before we call the AI, we can do that. So right here after this, what I can do is I can do comments text is equal to, and basically I can just do comments without timestamps dot map. I can go over the comment c is equal to, and here I can just give it I think you need to give it index, and then I, and then in here I can do I plus 1, and then over here I can do c dot text. Okay, so this will be that. So let me take this one and let me just show you guys what we're doing here, and I'm gonna save it, and let's just fire this up again. Let me bring up the console, and let's see. So if I come here, we should have numbered comments. Analyze, boom. So that's what I'm talking about. As you can see, we took it from whatever it was, and now it's in a form that we can pass into the AI. So maybe I can also just do like a dot. Okay, so now that we have that, then I can come here and let's close this one, and then I can do cons AI response is equal to await. We're going to do send request. Okay, I think it should be AI, but that's fine. We're going to do comments text, and let's just do AI response. We're just gonna, if we get a response, we should just output it. Okay, so already we have OpenAI API key environment is missing. Okay, so we're getting this error with the environment key. The reason I found is we're loading the environment variables after. So you should always load the environment variables at the very beginning actually. So it's available to everyone. So let me save it, and boom, now it's good. Okay, so I'm gonna go over and now do analyze and processing. Okay, failed to process. Let's see. So expect an object. Okay, so this usually happens if you are, since we're passing an array, so we need to pass this in as a text. So where we are doing this, remember how this was an array? So we need to do join, because this will make it like a nice string. So now if I come over here and if I do analyze, let's see, something is happening. Okay, so the overall is positive. Oh, that's actually good. It's working. So what we can do is, let me take this and we're going to turn it back to our client, which is this guy here, and let's see if it'll actually spit it out. So let's do processing. Yes, there you go. It is working nicely. How cool is that? Let me load this one. And let's see, we only have one comment. So let's see what this will do. So let's do analyze. Okay. And then this one highlights the positive experience. How about we load this one? Okay, so let's see, we have these comments. Let's just do analyze this one. You have built a YouTube comment summaries using AI. So the idea is basically not to maybe build this tool, because you might want to read comments, but the idea is you can see how you can build an extension, inject code or HTML inside an existing website, and kind of combine different technologies together and build a very cool tool. So I hope you guys liked and enjoy. Like and subscribe. Bye.